Hi, this is Dean with Worldwide Trekking, and today we're going to talk about Sagarmatha National Park, which is the national park we trek through on our trek to Mount Everest Base Camp in Nepal. In 1976, they established its boundaries, and it's 443 square miles in size. Sagarmatha is the Nepali word for Mount Everest. So Chomolungma means Mount Everest, Sagarmatha means Mount Everest. These are local names far before George Everest did the survey of Mount Everest, of whom it was named after. In the national park, there's 6 mountains that are over 8,000 meters tall, so over 23,000 feet. When we are on day 2 of our trek, we enter the Sagarmatha National Park. On your trip, your park entrance fee will be included, as well as the required insurance for our local team. We start in the Dukosi River Valley, we make our way over some suspension bridges, then up into Namche Bazaar. And from there, the valleys really split up the Dukosi River or the Tibetan River Valley. And the Tibetan River obviously goes up into Tibet, China, and the Dukosi River is more of the direction that we head up into the highlands that take us to the base of Mount Everest. Unlike a lot of places we travel in national parks where they're not allowed to inhabitate areas within the park boundaries, they do have fully established villages and communities. So there's over 3,000 people that live in that 443 square mile range in a number of small villages, which we pass through many along the way. And the power that they generate is in the lower valley based on the rivers that are running through the valley. So they use hydroelectric power. When we get up higher in the mountains, above the access to the waterways, then they're going to switch and start using more solar energy and solar power up in the upper portions of the valley. But these are established villages with people that live there year-round. Namche Bazaar is the largest village in Sagarmatha National Park. Namche Bazaar being the bazaar, the trading center from Tibet, China, and from the Khumbu Valley where we're traveling. And every Saturday they host a market where people come from all different areas to congregate together for a bazaar that's been going on Saturday for the last 50 years. The park is comprised of rugged terrain. In the beginning of our trek, we'll cross a number of suspension bridges, large cable and aluminum-built suspension bridges. The trail networking system along the way is quite large. There's not big exposed areas. These are trails that are large enough for a big yak train and people to travel past each other easily. We will pass a number of mountains that are over 6,000 meters, so over 20,000 feet, as well as see and trek right up to Mount Everest. But some of the other mountains that we will see along the way: Lhotse, Cho-Oyu, Amadablam, Nuptse, Thamseku, and a number of other beautiful mountains. So we are trekking up into the high Himalayas. At the beginning of the trek, we're kind of down in the forest and the river valley. So as we get up higher and we get above Namche, we get above Tangboche, when we get up higher to the national park, we'll go from the V-shaped valleys, so they're cut from the riverways, to the large U-shaped valleys. And those large U-shaped valleys are going to be where they were formed by large glaciers. So there's the basic information on Sagarmatha National Park. It is the national park that we spend most of our time trekking through on our trek to Mount Everest Base Camp, from the Solo or lower Khumbu Valley in Nepal up to the Khumbu Valley that's at the base camp area. And we cross through a number of villages. It's an amazing trek up through the national park from village to villages in Nepal. There's the basic information on Sagarmatha National Park. Watch the rest of our video series to learn more about our treks to Mount Everest Base Camp.